Hi, I'm Kaz. I have some issues, and we're going to talk about it right now, so, yeah.
Hell yeah! Good morning, my fellow Earthlings. Welcome to a nice, shiny Florida something. Yeah, I'm Kaz. Hi, in case you've forgotten, it's me, the Kaz. It's been a hot minute, at least on the YouTube side of things. I have been moderately active on Instagram. I gave up on TikTok because of, you know, the whole political thing I don't really want to get into right now. As you can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about a certain thing. I mean, not into like great detail, but what the fuck are you staring at? I'm not comfortable putting my business out there like that, but I don't really owe an explanation to anything, but I also feel bad at the end of the day because it's just like, hey, you know, what's Kaz up to? Oh, he hasn't uploaded a video in a year. I wonder if he gave up. No, so long story short, to wrap all this up, if you don't care, life. That's the one word, that's the one word you need to know, life. I don't even remember what the last video was about. I know it was before the March campout of last year, and I was saying, hey, I'm gonna go to that and record. And I did actually record a little bit of it, but I just really did not like how the footage came out, so I said, fuck that. I did get a little something from the March campout for the channel from last year, and we're actually gonna cover that right now, because I actually recorded that, so have fun with a year-old footage. Bye-bye, I'll see you soon.
Oh yeah. What is this mystery bike? What addition to my questionable fleet of vehicles do I have now? Well, let's find out. Yeah, it doesn't roll too good. That seems to be a theme with everything I own. I have to push them into the frame. What we have here is a 1979 Kawasaki KZ650B. I don't know what the B stands for, but it says it on the VIN, so here we are. You're gonna be quick to point out, hey, that's not what the front end of a KZ650 is supposed to look like. Yeah, whoever had this bike last wanted it to look like a much newer bike than what it actually was. In some of the photos I'll throw on screen now, you could see when I first picked it up, there was a weird 90s looking fairing on this back piece here that was actually just tapped in with, you know, some self-tappers. So like I said, someone wanted this bike to look a lot newer than what it actually was, which is kind of unfortunate. None of that matters anymore. It's in my possession now, so you already know me. What's the plan for this thing right here? You already know me. What crazy ideas do I have for this thing? Well, considering the shape it's in and it's not really anything special, I don't feel too bad about what I'm gonna do to it. What am I gonna do to it? I really want this thing to be a Bosozoku build. It needs a lot of work, and quite frankly, I feel it's a little past its prime in trying to make it what it once was. It's just not. It'd be way more effort than making it my own thing. It's never really gonna be what it once was, and quite frankly, I don't want it to be what it once was. This thing's got a whole new life waiting for it. Hate to flash this thing at you just for it to not show up for a little while, but just letting you know, hey, look at this thing. Look at this thing.
Let's get scratching.
Thank you. You too. Here's the quick explanation of, like, okay, I have some issues, like I've been saying, like the title of this video. I have some issues, and what do I mean by that? Now, what you're about to see on screen, it's not like 100% like, oh, this is what I have. This is just, you know, a quick online test anyone can do most of the stuff you have to get diagnosed with. So I'm not trying to, this is what I have, This is just a quick, like, you do this test and it's just like all probabilities and, but when you look at the evidence from this test, it's a little damning. Anyway, so yeah, for people that know me, it's like I'm kind of bipolar in a sense. I'll be perfectly fine, and then like a switch will get flipped. And then all of a sudden, it's the end of the world if I try to socialize. I have a lot of issues. That's just the fastest way to explain it. And it boils over into my productivity, my creativity. Just like if I'm having a bad time, the last thing I want to do is be creative. Simple as that. I had content planned, and then everything just kind of, took a shit. I get a lovely visit from code enforcement to my house. And it wasn't just my house, the entire neighborhood got a visit. Even though I live out in the middle of nowhere, right? Out in the middle of nowhere. In code enforcement rules, it states that you cannot have a vehicle on your property without like a plate on it, without insurance. The car has to be in running condition and registered and insured if it's out in the open. If you have a garage, you're fine. So it's essentially, it's a rule to kick the poor. It'd be like, haha, you don't have a garage. Oh, you want a non-running car, but you can't have a garage? Here, you need to pay us. So, yeah, that's essentially what it was. My Volvo has sat dormant for 8 years untouched. And, now it became mission critical, because I'm not getting rid of the Volvo. That's not an option. You need to deal with this Volvo. This thing that hasn't ran in 8 years. You need to do something. So I do what any not sane Floridian with emotional issues and attachment issues, and to start listing off all the personality disorders again. I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of money I didn't have fixing my Volvo, because that silly little thing means my entire world to me. When you have the law coming down on you and being like, hey, this thing you care so much about, this thing that has basically transformed your entire personality and your career and everything that you've spent the last decade of your life learning how to do just so you can fix this car. Hey, by the way, you need to figure something the fuck out about it, because if you don't do something about it within this time frame, you're gonna have to pay $1,000 a day for it staying on your property, not running. So I got it running for now. It's not presentable, but it runs, it drives, it moves under its own power, it's insured, it has a plate on it. That's all they wanted. And I do drive it from time to time in its current condition, but yeah, it's bad. It took a lot of money to get it to a good enough state, and it was money I never had. So how do you spend money you don't have? Oh, you just take a loan out, Oh, you use Affirm, you use all these places that are so willingly ready to just give you your money, or their money, but you got to pay it back. So I'm paying for it right now in the terms of I have no spare money, because every month all the spare money I do have goes to paying off the money I took out to repair the vehicle that meant the entire world to me, because I'm fucking crazy. Yeah, so there's that. Also, the Fiat keeps breaking, because it's a Fiat. You're starting to get the gist of this. Like right after the March camp out, I had to spend a lot of money that I didn't have to begin with, and I'm paying for it now in the terms of I have no spare money at the end of every month to even begin working on the project bike for the channel. Like, the very first thing I need to do with the project bike is get a battery. It's like $80. I don't have $80 at the end of every month after I pay my bills that I'm already behind on too. you know, I'm just having not such a good time right now. And when you're in that moment, when everything's coming down on you, and you know, you find yourself in this rut, I don't want to be creative. I don't have the want to be creative. Like, I'm having a horrible time right now. The last thing I want to do is point a camera in my face and be like, oh yeah, this is great. Is there a car there? No. Let's slow down real quick and look at this beauty. What is it? V8. Oh, it's an Oldsmobile. Okay. I know nothing about what it is, or, you know, anything. I think it looks cool. Okay, back to the topic though. We all handle stress differently. We all do things differently, but the way I tend to go about handling my stress is I isolate myself from the rest of the world. I ignore my friends. I shut myself out. I sit in my anger, in my frustrations, in my sadness, and I just sit in it. I dwell in it. And yeah, that's not good, as a lot of people have told me. I know it's not good. I don't want to do it, but it's just how I've always gone about things. So it's just how I naturally deal with this. No, it's not good. I know it's not good, and I'm working on it, but it's not like, oh, I can just be like, oh, I need to stop that. That's not good behavior, and just change everything around. It's like trying to quit cigarettes cold turkey. It's like trying to quit drinking cold turkey. It's substance abuse minus the substance. My substance is isolation. And you can't just up and, well, sorry, you know, oh, silly me, I just need to go out and socialize. No, it doesn't fucking work like that. Yeah, it's really hard to be positive and creative and motivated to do anything of this nature when you don't have the money, you don't have the motivation. Like, you know, it's just hard. It's really hard, and I'm sorry. We're gonna switch vessels here, and we're gonna drive the Volvo a little bit, because obviously that's a big historical thing for the channel that you guys essentially missed out on, because I was forced into it from powers greater than me. So let's go over the Volvo a little bit. So for starters, since we're going to take a drive, we got some things we got to do first. So, very first thing, this is temporary because I couldn't find a spot to run it through to the dash. We gotta turn the fan on. Okay, now that the fan's on, we're also going to close the radiator cap. Is it low? It might be fine. Okay, let's close that, because it doesn't want to release pressure. Now we close the hood. Now we're ready to drive. Okay. Let's drive this beautiful machine. Alright, so welcome to Natalia. Welcome to the car that I refuse to get rid of and I refuse to let die and means the entire world to me. Yeah, it's hard to call it a car right now. And like I said earlier, it's not like the car had to be perfect. It just had to move under its own power, had to have registration and insurance and all that. So it runs. I'm driving it right now. Yeah, I don't have, the gauge cluster didn't work from the donor car or my original car. So there's no gauges right now. I have no idea how much fuel I have. I don't know my temperatures. I have a speedometer on my phone that I use occasionally. Usually I just go with the vibe of traffic. No AC, can't roll the windows down without like a power probe and a jump box. No music. The speakers sounded like shit anyway, so I got a Bluetooth speaker up there. I got my Good Luck Moose right there. I got my stress relievers. We're gonna talk about that like right now. Yeah, this thing's not good. I played the cards I was dealt or given. You know, I played the hand I was dealt or whatever. So you have the entire world coming down on you being like, hey, it's time. I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. So you end up with this. There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of little issues I'm trying to figure out right now. So as an example, if I hit the brake, the wheel goes that way. If I accelerate, it goes back straight. I already replaced both front soft lines. I think it's the control arms, because the bushings like don't exist. Now if I hit the brake and like hold the wheel straight, the car dives to the left and goes back straight when I accelerate. Yeah, this it's actually probably a good idea. I'm still wearing my motorcycle helmet. It's not good, but like I said, I look past all this because I have a very unhealthy obsession with this car, and it runs. It has not done this in 8 years, and literally everyone said you're not gonna fix it. The rule about Kaz, I'd say the number one rule about me is, if you say I can't do it, I'm gonna do it. Hello. Just a random, it's a metric bike, a metric cruiser. It's getting hot in here. I need some fresh air. Much better. This was a big milestone for me that sadly you guys missed out on, just from the circumstances of the situation. Like, I was not prepared at all to get this thing running again, but I had to. I was forced to. Like, it hit go time, and it was either, give up on the past decade of my life. I've devoted essentially the last decade of my life learning how to work on cars, motorcycles, things, so I can fix this. That's literally, I mean, I did have an interest in it, yes, but it's because of this car. It is because of the car I'm sitting in right now that one day blew up on me, and I said right then and there, you're going to run again. And here I am now. So, quick round of applause. I'm the greatest. Really hard to be happy about this. Don't get me wrong, I am ecstatic. I am so happy that that I can drive this thing again. But it's just all the circumstances surrounding it, and I haven't ruined my life. Don't take it that way. But it's just such a major inconvenience now. It's really hard to be happy about this, to be positive, to share my successes with you guys, when it gets drowned out in the grand scheme with everything else surrounding it, with, all the depressive episodes and just everything working against me. Also, it's getting hot again. Yeah, it just sucks. And it's not like I've completely forgotten about YouTube. It's not like I've completely forgotten about it or threw my hat in, because I think about it all the time. But it's hard to have the want, because like I'll think of something like, oh man, that's great, and I'll start to I have so much stuff I recorded, but I haven't uploaded because I'll record it and then I'll start to go through the processes of editing it, and it's literally something as simple as, I don't like the way I look, I'm not gonna edit this. I should like regularly do this, just have a helmet in the Volvo at all times. But yeah, so big milestone. The Volvo runs now. I'm sorry I couldn't document the entire process because I was on a time crunch. It took one weekend. Literally. Now, I didn't fix the old engine because that sat in a field for 8 years and I wasn't married to the idea of repairing that engine. I bought a donor car and just did a whole ass subframe assembly swap. So I just took all the good stuff out of a donor car and here we are now. But yeah, I need to fix that because that's not good. Alright, so I didn't actually record a outro to the video because, when you're wearing a motorcycle helmet for so long and you're sweating, you're hot, you just want to get over with. So so it's time for an actual outro. Yeah, long story short, life, Like I said, everyone has their own way of going about things, and I know my way isn't the greatest way, but it's all I know. So
I'm working on it. I say it every video at this point, but I'm working on it. So what if it's been like a year since I made a video? Time's a construct anyway. Time doesn't exist. So I don't know what the next video is gonna be. I don't know when it'll be, so you know, kind of in limbo, but thanks for watching. Yeah, cool, yay. Content creation, wonderful. See you next time, my earthlings, and